My name is Liana Morales. I'm 32. That Thursday started like any other. Quiet, uneventful, nothing that hinted at chaos. I was sitting at my desk, sifting through invoices, letting the rhythm of numbers and calculations lull me into a sense of control. Then my phone buzzed, the kind of long, insistent vibration that screams trouble before you even look at it. It was a text from my sister. No greeting, no hint of softness, just, "I need a new car. Can you co-sign?" No please, no hope you're well, just a demand disguised as a question. For context, I own my house. I pay my bills on time. I organize my life in spreadsheets the way other people might track moods or dreams. For years, I had been the steady one, the sibling who quietly shouldered the emotional labor of a family that valued drama over stability. Hannah is 28, bright, flamboyant, magnetic, but also a serial job hopper and, well, expert at public tears. In our family, crying theatrically is the ultimate proof of suffering, and anyone who refuses to kneel before that suffering is automatically in the wrong. I read her text twice. Then, somehow, I laughed. A sharp, irritated sound that surprised even me. I typed back, "Keep dreaming." I didn't expect the next message. It wasn't from her. It was from Dad. All caps. "Refuse and you're cut off from family events." A hot, unwelcome coin dropped into my hand. Most people would have flinched, maybe folded, apologized, tried to smooth things over. For me, it ignited something cold and deliberate inside. You see, I'd already signed off on a shared credit line once, reluctantly, during a Thanksgiving dinner drenched in guilt. Everyone's eyes had the same thing. You're the responsible one. You have the stability. You can help. They framed it as charity. I always knew it was a trap. Hannah had maxed out that line on a high-end espresso machine she bragged about in social media posts, on jackets she flaunted and filtered selfies, on things that only warmed her life for moments while leaving me to pay for months. So, I called the bank, closed it, digitally. Within the hour, I had the confirmation in my inbox. Quiet, unceremonious, but final. No dramatic speeches, just the safety net they had taken for granted, gone. By morning, my phone was a battlefield. 36 missed calls. 12 from Hannah, 9 from Dad, the rest sprinkled across cousins and one aunt who clearly relished chaos. I didn't answer. Not a single one. Because this wasn't about a car. It was about years of keeping a ledger that never included me. I had been the one to pay, to fix, to forgive. They called me calm, reasonable, dependable. Labels that made it easy to ask for more. This time, I didn't cave. 3 years earlier, Hannah punctured 2 of my tires because I refused to let her borrow my car for a music festival. She posted the photo online with laughing emojis. When I asked her to cover the repairs, the family told me I was overreacting. No apology, no restitution. Message clear. Keep your mouth shut or life will get messy, but in ways you'll absorb. Then came the holiday dinner. Midway through dessert, Hannah launched into a theatrical monologue about how I never supported her dreams. She screamed, threw her drink in my face. Cold wine running down my skin, my mind cleared in an instant. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a pair of scissors, returned and calmly snipped off a long section of her hair, the hair she had obsessed over for years. Silence. Her screams, Mom crying, Dad frozen, me steady, like someone who had finally found the off switch labeled enough. They kicked me out that night, not because of her tantrum, but because I retaliated. And the next morning, life continued as if nothing happened. Fast forward to last week. Hannah wrecked the older Camry I'd lent her, never transferred legally, while she found herself. She called it her car in posts, parading entitlement like a badge. Then came the audacity, a request for a co-signed loan on a brand new car. So I enacted my plan, quietly, deliberately. Canceled the shared line, pulled the Camry back into my garage, not through confrontation, but through control and patience. I had friends who could tow it discreetly. Hannah called in fury. I sent a photo, the car, safe in my garage, no words. By noon, the family group chat was a war zone. Mom's texts, "Liana, we need to talk. This isn't like you." I left it entirely. No chat, no discussion, no argument. That small act felt like lifting my hand off a hot stove. Some people noticed. Some were tired of covering for her drama. Cousin Jake texted, "Maybe someone should put her in her place." For the first time in years, I felt seen. But Hannah had a pattern: tantrum, manipulation, sympathy. When threats failed, she rewrote history, casting herself as the brave, neglected child and me as the cold, unloving sister. Later that week, an envelope appeared under my windshield. No stamp, no name. Inside, a draft of Hannah's letter confessing her calculated manipulation with a note from Jake at the bottom. "You didn't get this from me. I'm tired of watching you take the fall." Subscribe for more stories like this because you won't believe what happens next. I felt a flicker of vindication and a pang of smallness. Proof meant nothing without listeners. I installed new locks, reinforced deadbolts, motion sensors, cameras. The sound of keys turning in fresh locks felt symbolic. This time, I would choose who entered my life. The day after repossessing the Camry, the house was quiet, almost unnervingly so. My phone buzzed only once, a lone, reluctant vibration. By noon, the messages hit like a storm. Aunt Carla, Mom, Dad, Hannah, all trying, each in their way, to bend me back to the old rhythm. I ignored them. Deleted the toxic voicemail from Hannah, a venomous mix of sobs and accusations. Jake called. "She's telling everyone you stole her car, Lena." Technically, it was never hers. I had receipts, invoices, texts, proof of every transaction. Still, I let her underestimate me. The weekend brought a family meeting, which was code for ambush disguised as reconciliation. I walked in, not for confrontation, but for observation. Mom and Dad stiff, Hannah on the couch defiant, sweatshirt reading, "Empathy is my superpower." The irony nearly made me laugh. When they confronted me about humiliation, I stayed calm. I recounted the truth: crashed cars, lies, attempts to manipulate me into paying again. Mom's patience cracked. Hannah predictably called me cold, but I wasn't negotiating, not this time. I walked out, leaving her smirk behind, a faint but smug confirmation she thought she'd won. Later, Jake texted, "Check her Instagram. She's posting again." Hannah had posted a photo of the empty driveway. When family steals from you, remember karma's a better driver. Hundreds of likes, dozens of sympathy comments, but I didn't engage. I documented every lie, every post, every manipulation. 2 days later, I called Caleb at the auto auction. The Camry? Gone. Cash. No paper trail. Silence followed, heavy and strange. Not peace, but a fragment of justice. Then came the envelope. This one, no stamp, no name, perfect handwriting. Hannah's own draft, confessing manipulation. Jake's note, "You didn't get this from me." My stomach turned. Proof, yes, but intent was the true revelation. She wasn't acting in pain. She was calculating. I planned carefully for the upcoming family barbecue. Not invited, which worked in my favor. Drama would speak for itself. Uncle Rick's no-drama event was perfect for exposure. I arrived just before sunset. Music, laughter, the smell of grilled ribs, fairy lights swaying. Hannah, theatrically clutching her chest, proclaimed, "She stole my car! I'm paying therapy bills because of it!" Murmurs rippled. I exchanged a glance with Jake, gave a slight nod, and then connected my phone to a small Bluetooth speaker. My voice read Hannah's draft letter aloud, calm, precise, every line, every confession. Heads turned. Mom froze. Dad couldn't speak. Hannah, pale, had no script. Silence fell surgical, sharp. She stormed inside, her car squealing moments later. The yard remained frozen. Conversations resumed slowly, fractured, cautious. Jake handed me a soda. Wasn't expecting a speech? I smiled faintly. Sometimes people need help hearing themselves. That night, an unknown number texted, "You win this time." Doorbell camera pinged at 1:17 a.m. A figure with a grocery bag. My father. Tried the knob, locked, walked away. Subscribe for more stories like this. The family saga is far from over. The following weeks were quiet. Calls, letters, social media posts all stopped. Even Hannah's accounts went silent. I settled into the rhythm of peace, small and controlled. Coffee, work, plants, emails. Silence has its own weight, unfamiliar but freeing. Then a plain envelope appeared. Inside, a check with 4 words typed on the memo line. Gas money, no apology. A calculated acknowledgement of defeat, not peace. Mom called, fragile. "She misses you." I believed her, silently. Jake stopped by later. Hannah had bought a new, used hatchback, named it Karma. We laughed. Real laughter, for the first time in years. I burned the draft letter, watched ink fade to ash. I realized revenge hadn't saved me. Boundaries had. Approval from family wasn't necessary. The quiet certainty of control was enough. I visited Grandma. Tea on the porch. She whispered, "Sometimes peace looks like distance." I nodded. It did. And for the first time, I felt free. Not triumphant, not loud, just free. The locks, the keys, the absence of footsteps, all tangible proof I had taken my life back.